at the Vans at 1:45. That means you're already changed to your formal fancy stuff. Do that at lunch, or if you have a free, do it then.
Also, please do not forget to tell your teachers we will not be there for your 6th period class. Ask very kindly. All right, thank you.
In the lower art room outside in front of the mural.
And we would also like to thank Ms. Parsons for all her help and support. We wouldn't have been able to do this without her.
Yeah, I just want to take a moment here because this was a project that took almost 2 years to complete. So I just wanted to take a moment to recognize all the students who were involved. So I think you did this Tuesday, but do it for me. If the art and nature students could stand up, please. Anybody involved? There's a lot of you. I just want to say I'm really proud of all of you. And making something like a mural happen is not easy. It takes a lot of work, a lot of hours, like so much time. So this was all volunteer, and I just want to say I'm really proud of you guys. And I want to especially thank Skylar, Alexa, and Annabelle. This was their idea. They had an idea, and they came to me and they said, we want to make this happen. And that's how things get done. So I just want to say, you guys, you made this happen.
So Akasha is not here right now, but I want to announce the Spirit Day event that's going to be happening next week. So next week we're going to be starting a food drive competition. So this is going to be another competition. It's going to be really fun. You can beat the sophomores and get the ice cream party this time, right? That's fun. And so this competition is going to be a little different. So each class is going to have their each separate bin, and for every canned food that you put in your own bin, you'll be getting 1 point. And for every boxed food that you put in someone else's bin, you're going to take away a point from their class. So it's a sabotage system. And we're going to be ending this food drive right as Thanksgiving break is right before Thanksgiving break. And we're going to be counting up the number of points your class won and determining the winner from there. So that will be happening sometime next week. I'll update you then. Thank you.
Hi, I'm a printer. Oops, better hide.
You know, being a York student, I really hate printers.
Jared, help me out. Let's print 200 pages of useless materials and then just leave them right there in the
Yes, let's do it.
You.
Wait. It's a printer! Let's go! Let's go! No toner! No toner! You're not low toner! You're just low quality, low efficiency! It's faster! Era, I'm broken. Alright, we did it.
Okay, so as you can see, printers' lives matter also, and by printing, we're wasting so many valuable materials.
The printer's life will be significantly shortened, and why would you want to abuse the lives of such young individuals who have the ability to print such masterpieces?
So we just lost a printer in the downstairs library due to unreasonably high usages of both printers and toners. It's broken due to a mechanical failure, not out of toners or something, and it's just broken permanently, period. Toner was running out also in student centers for a while, with paper being continuously replaced every day in response to the useless materials that's being printed and abandoned daily.
Let me say this. If you are going to print something non-academic that is over 25 pages long, print it at home.
We all do work jobs, but nobody in the school has to pick up 50 pages of printed paper covered by someone's lunch for them, or even should be picking that up in the first place.
And we're not trying to target anybody here. I believe that we are all mature individuals, so I really hope that we can settle this today. Yep. If you use printers as they are intended to be used, rather than using them like we did to Tom today, we will stop making these annoying announcements every single break.
Let's make it the last one.
Yep. Thank you.
I used to believe I was bad with friendship, but not in the way you may think. I don't find it difficult to start a conversation with a stranger, to dance around in public, or to drag two acquaintances together to become friends. However, when it came to establishing close friendships, I only had a precious few. At the end of 8th grade, I was determined to keep my closest friends, even as we went our separate ways for high school. But as the end of summer approached, we scattered, starting to pass and becoming distant. It became much harder to keep in touch without seeing each other face to face. And eventually, even the small conversations over text faded away. When high school started, I was adventuring a new world where no one knew my name, my personality, my flaws, or my opinion. It was a terrifyingly exciting feeling. It was my chance to create new friendships, to plant them and watch them grow strong. It wasn't long until I found someone to talk to. By the end of the week, there was a large group of us sitting in a semicircle across the commons. A warm feeling spread through. I had made friends in the scary, unknown world of high school. One day, however, after taking the chance to look around my friends, an unknown dread filled me. I was lonely in a crowd full of people. By now, fall was almost over, and people were actually becoming friends, real friends. And although I was never alone, I was always one step behind. Their seeds had begun to sprout small green leaves, while mine were still deep underground. I felt as if there was too much of the conversation and inside jokes I never understood. I thought maybe, just maybe, I wasn't trying hard enough. Maybe, if I tried just a bit more, I would finally feel like I had a place in that crowd. And that's when it started. The chase to keep up a conversation, to not fall behind. But every time I tried to jump into a conversation, I said way too little, or way too much. My attempts became exhausting. And after what seemed like weeks, I had accomplished nothing. I knew my friends from the outside, but never beyond that. Worn out, I stopped trying to fit in. I finally stopped trying to rush the growth of my overwhelmed seeds, and instead learned to be patient. I let time pass by, giving my seeds plants and water to grow at their own pace. Eventually, a small stem reached out of the ground, and I knew it was back on track. I started conversations on topics I knew I enjoyed. And during lunch, I started listening to the conversation. It was easier, a lot more enjoyable. and it wasn't long before I found people who chose to do the same thing. To sit on the sidelines and have slower, calmer conversations. We weren't the center of attention, but somehow we seemed to fit in the group, weaving in and out of the main conversation. Discovering I wasn't alone, I met my friends halfway, and we established strong roots. Months later, after a long day, I took a deep breath and looked around me once more. My seeds had grown into a forest of redwood trees. Their roots spreading underground and linking so that they stood firm and strong. They grew tall and still, their leaves and branches reaching towards the sky.
Announcement for, for everybody really, but primarily freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. A week from Monday, a week from Tuesday, which is the 20th, an alumna, Laura Bauman, will be joining us at lunch. So those of you that are maybe interested in service academies, she's a first-year student at West Point. So she's going to be joining us for a lunchtime conversation, and that is Tuesday, November 20th, the day before we break for Thanksgiving. So I will give you another reminder next week about that. Seniors certainly welcome to come, but a little bit more targeted towards those of you that will be entering the college process in the next year or two or even 3. That's Tuesday the 20th, so please join us for that. Thanks.
Today at lunch we're having a pizza sale to fundraise for a service learning project for Community Partnership for Youth, so please bring your money.
Yeah, you might want to get there early too because we don't have a lot of pizza and it's
I would like to invite you to share some very valuable feedback with us as a school. As you know, York aims to offer a very engaging and challenging program to all of you. That means that from morning music through classes during the day, clubs, after-school sports and arts activities, and service projects, you can be, because you choose to be, very busy students in any given cycle. Sometimes you come to see us and you say, please, stop the madness. You're assigning too many homework assignments, too many tests. I'm just buried. I can't do it all this particular week. And while that anecdotal information is valuable to us, as a high-functioning organization, we need to make data-driven decisions. When you come to see us, the benefit is we can help you. You let us know that you need some support in that given cycle, that time in your life, because we want you to be engaged, and we want you to be successful, and we want you to find balance while you're doing that. So the invitation is this. In Haiku today, you can find a survey that's being called the Homework Survey. And we're going to ask you to complete the survey for 7 cycle days, meaning 1 opportunity this weekend, 1 opportunity Monday night for B Day, Tuesday night for C Day, all the way through to the end of the cycle next weekend. And by completing the survey, what you do is you say to us, I'm in this particular grade level, I've completed homework for these classes tonight, and I spent this much time studying, working problem sets, whatever it may be. And there are also some questions there for you to say, I spent this much time in my after-school sports program or my after-school arts program, some other extracurricular activities. So that at the end of the cycle, we get this global data set that lets us know for each student and for grade levels, in a sense, how busy, how engaged you are with our program. That data set is going to be really valuable to the school if everybody participates every day. So I encourage you to start that this weekend. Sunday, for example, teachers starting Monday will remind you first period each day to complete it, sixth period at the end of the day to complete it, and we look forward to your feedback in that survey. Thank you very much.
Good morning. First, just a shout out to all of you who are in the cast and the crew or whatever and are busy and sleep deprived for The Wedding Singer. Very fun show. Congratulations to all of you and those of you who are going to get a chance to see it. You're going to have fun. So, it's a good example of something that's very important to us at York. We sometimes refer to it as a growth mindset. Because what happens after a show like that is that people will walk out and say, boy, we sure have talented students at York School. And they're right. We do have talented students at York School. But you don't just step on that stage because you're talented and pull off a show. Whether it's cross-country or chemistry, and certainly a musical, anything, almost anything that constitutes success requires some hard work, some practice, some repetition. That practice, that rehearsal, very, very evident on the stage last night. So thank you. It was a fun show. There have been a couple of comments lately that I wanted to respond to with just a few very simple things about York School that you may already know. And if you don't, my goodness, we might learn something. Here you go. Simply as I can put it. First, York School is a non-profit organization. What that practically means is that when any money shows up, we spend it. There is on you. There's no drawer full of money where it's being accumulated, and there are no shareholders who get a profit dividend if things are going well. We're non-profit. Second, schools are a funny thing, and York is a notable example of this, in that schools are one of the only businesses that charge less than they spend. If you were a pizza parlor owner and it cost you $15 to make a pizza and then you sold it for $10, and then when people walked in and said, you know, I really don't have a lot of money, we said, oh, we'll give it to you for $5, you don't survive very long as a pizza parlor. That's true of almost every school I know about. Even a public university like the University of California, Berkeley, which gets tax money, they go out and raise money. So what schools do, like York, because we spend more on you than even full tuition pays for, is we raise money. And that's what balances it out. It balances out the tuition assistance some people give. It also makes it possible for us to offer this program. Now that money stuff comes in a variety of forms. One mention this last week was about the spirit around Red and Black Week. Red and Black Week is about what's called the York Fund. It's nice when you're having fun, the week of the York Fund, and helping out and participating and dressing up and all those things. But what we're really after in Red and Black Week is to get people to give the money that's extra. That's the reason, frankly, we have a musical. It's the reason you have uniforms on sports teams. Because tuition barely covers printer paper. So almost everything you enjoy outside of the strict classroom environment is because somebody donated some money to the school. We have lacrosse teams because somebody said, I want to help you with a lacrosse team and bought equipment for us. Very, very tough to provide the kind of program that we do, the way we do it without people being supported. So yesterday, as some of you got to stop by and witness, the stage was poured for the theater. Very exciting moment. And on that stage, there were placed a couple of plaques for the people who donated the money to make the theater a reality. Almost everything on any college campus you visit or any school is going to have a name associated with it, not just because the school liked that person, but usually because that person donated the money to make it possible. And next week, or sometime soon, you're going to see the seats, the caps, being installed in the theater, and a lot of them are engraved with the names of people. Now, I mention this because one of my favorite costumes at Halloween was the wood chips costume, because of course that's been a kind of an inside running joke at York for some time now, because someone asked the question, finally, how much are we spending on wood chips? And I got to explain that they were donated. So I love that joke, and I love that it continues. And during my collection forum, somebody said, when Mayor Oster was telling the story of how the sports center got its pool, somebody said, we want a swimming pool too. So do I. I'm a swimmer. There are several of us on the faculty as adults who swim regularly. It would be great. But how does that happen? Well, even the mayor pointed out that a city only was able to do it because somebody walked in and wrote him a $5 million check. So that's how these things happen at your school. And I know that probably none of you are about to hand this a $5 million check to build a pool. But the next person that walks in and says, hey, how about I give you $5 million? And I'll say, great, can we build a swimming pool with it? But if the person says, actually, I'd rather have tennis courts, guess what? Probably get tennis courts. But whether it's robotics, which raises money to be able to do what it does, or the musical, or any of the many things that you enjoy here, just know we're doing the best we can to provide toner and printer paper and the things that you need. But we also are really appreciative of the friends that we have who help give you not just the things that you need, but the things that you want and enjoy. So, the reason I mentioned the wood chip joke, not just to get you to laugh again, but is that that came about, that conversation and now that joke, because somebody asked a question. So I'd just like to invite any of you who have any questions about stuff like this. If you're curious, let me know. We can have a lunch together, we can do a student council meeting together, whatever, because I think it's important for you to understand how things function around here, and for you to join me and others in recognizing with gratitude the people who make the York experience possible for you. Thank you.
Two quick announcements. One, robotics will meet today in the design shop to continue working on what we were working on Saturday. The other, piggybacking off of Mr. Harmon's comment about students and their hard work, we have a small group of runners going to represent York in the Central Coast section cross-country championships. It is a diverse group. 3 of them are freshmen, 2 sophomores, 2 juniors, and 2 seniors. That's Julia Oliver, Michael Julian, Daniel, Rio, Chris Hine, Jonathan, Owen, Alex, Adam, and Tristan, who will be running tomorrow afternoon. So if you see them, please wish them good luck.